What's going on, guys? Long time no see. Um, it's been a long time. It's been a long time, like a year or two. I don't know. A lot has happened. A lot is going on. But at the end of the day, I've still been watching Wizards basketball, baby. Um, and I got a couple thoughts that I just wanted to share. It's been on my mind, so why not make a video, like good old times. Um, Today I wanted to talk about Derik Queen. I wanted to talk about Derik Queen today because, as we all know, the Wizards fell to the sixth pick after having the second worst record. And I'm not even about to get into all that because I'm going to start ranting and I'm going to get mad. But that's besides the point. We're not here to talk about where we are in the draft. We're here to talk about Derik Queen today. So Derik Queen, as we know, from Baltimore, went to the University of Maryland. 6'10", about 246 pounds, something of that nature. Shot 52% from the field, averaged like 16 and 9. Kind of like a polarizing, interesting prospect where he could go in a couple different ranges in the lottery because of defensive issues that people are afraid of. Size issues, like is he a 4? Is he a 5? He's not like an elite rim protector or a rim runner where he's super athletic or anything like that. But one thing you can't deny is the talent. I mean, he's a Maryland guy, so as Wizards fans, a lot of people probably watch a lot of Maryland games or have watched Maryland games and have subsequently watched Derik Queen play. Offensively, the kid I think sky's the limit for him offensively. And I'm not just talking about scoring wise, I'm talking about playmaking as well. And today I'm here to talk about why I believe Derik Queen should be the pick for the Washington Wizards and why I will pick him with the sixth pick. Number one, I love, what Will Dawkins has done with the roster. I get Derik Queen doesn't really fit his mold of player. He's went with guys like Alex Sarr and, we got Bilal Coulibaly, long guys, really good defensive potential, kind of raw offensively, but the offense is like a work in progress. And, as we've seen with Coulibaly, who's improved offensively to go along with the defense, Alex Sarr, who numbers aren't like, field goal percentage wise and all that aren't the prettiest, but he did make strides offensively as the season went on in his rookie year, right? As long as obviously with the defensive flashes and the defensive upside and defensive potential, which was like his main calling card coming into the draft. I really think this team in this front court could use a potential offensive hub. And I think Derik Queen could be that type of player. I definitely think Derik Queen has to go to like a specific team to really maximize his potential. He can't just go to anybody. It has to be a good fit for him to really shine. Because if he doesn't go to the right team with the correct fit for him and his skill set, I don't know what is. I think he'll be more towards that floor as opposed to the ceiling. I think with what the Wizards and the direction they have gone in the last couple of drafts, obviously last draft, I never was able to give my thoughts, but Sarr, I like, George, I like, Carrington, who I was a really big fan of, another B-more kid, I like. And I think when you have a front court that composes of two kids who are really good defensively and have good defensive upside in Bilal and Alex, I think you can take a risk with Derik Queen as far as the defensive side of things. And I also don't think he's some traffic cone on the defensive side of the ball, though. I know his intangibles like the metrics, the measurements and stuff, and the combine wasn't that, pleasuring to the eye, as some may say, but he's made plays defensively. He's a solid rebounder. I think he's not terrible. Like he would just completely, the defense would just be a wreck with him there. As far as the fit 4 or 5, I think Alex Sars and him are actually a pretty good match for each other, in my opinion. There doesn't really need to be a set 4 and 5 when it's them. Sar can play some 5, Queen can play some 5. And then of course you get into the shooting aspect of it with Derik Queen. He only shot about 20% from the 3. You usually took about maybe 1, maybe 2 threes a game for the most part during the season with Maryland. But I think when you got 2 kids in Bilal and Alex that are really good and have high defensive upside, you could take a risk with somebody who's not some lockdown rim protector. But when you look at the offensive side of things, I think this front court could really use that offensive boost that Queen could provide. I think I talked about fit previously. I think his fit with this team, I think it would work. I think he's a guy. There's no go-to guy on this team. I know we talk about Jordan Poole and all that, but the Wizards have no go-to guy. There's no star, no superstar where the ball is in his hands and that's it. We don't have that on this current Washington Wizards team yet. They don't have that guy. So I think Derik Queen has the opportunity to have the ball in his hands with this team, with this offense. I think he has the opportunity with this team to showcase his skill set and be closer to that ceiling on this Wizards team as opposed to the floor with another team. So facilitating, I think he's a really good facilitator. I think he has a really good feel for the game. Offensively, his footwork is really good for someone his age. Yes, he's not super athletic, but it's not like he can't dunk the ball or something like that or use his strength. He's a big-bodied kid. No, he ain't 7'1", 7'2", but I don't think that matters in this case because this team could go for some offense. I've been loving, our defensive youngins that, just struggle offensively and raw offensively, but got some defensive upside. Why not? Let's flip the script. Since we've gone defensive upside, raw offense, this is perfect to mask any kind of defensive inefficiencies that someone like Queen may bring to the team. And like I said, once again, I don't think the defensive problems are that huge or big of an issue, in my opinion. So that's just kind of my case for Queen. I think what Dawkins has drafted and built so far, I don't think they take their Queen because, once again, I don't think he's someone that fits what they're looking for in, rookie. Based off past history, I know there's been a lot of talk about Fears, Johnson from Texas. So who knows? Knuppel, I think that's his last name. Sorry if I misspelled it, from Duke. So I don't think they go with Queen. I would personally go with Queen. I'm trying to find somebody who could be that guy, But there is risk with it. But I think the Wizards have a young enough of a team, open enough of offensive landscape, for him to really show what he can do and try to reach that ceiling that I think he can get to. Because I think he can be a really good player. He just needs to be on the right team and be drafted to the right team. I think the Wizards could be that team. So that's just my thoughts. I'm not about to sit here for 50 minutes and keep repeating the same thing over and over and over again. But I'm Team Queen. In the comments, let me know who you guys want, why you're pro Queen, against Queen, or pro for whoever you guys want. When I upload again, I have no idea. This isn't like an official return video. I just kind of wanted to chat about the Wizards. It's been a little while. And chat about Derik Queen, because I'm a big fan. And I hope the Wizards draft him at 6. But until next time, guys, whenever that is, peace.